As the Brunswick Naval Air Station begins the process of closing, we see great economic opportunities for us in the creation of a world-class garden park on the undeveloped land to the west and south of the runways. We have seen tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs leave our state year after year, outsourced to cheaper markets. However, one source of jobs that cannot be taken from us are jobs in the tourism industry. They are here to stay. Maine is a great vacation destination with over 34 million day trippers and 8.5 million overnight visitors each year. The greatest number of these currently visit our coast from Freeport south. 4 million stop in Freeport and 2.2 million go on to Acadia. The development of a world-class garden park on some of the undeveloped Naval Air Station land would attract many of these visitors and provide many well-paying jobs for our community. As we talk about the proposed garden park, the pictures you're seeing are of the Butchart Gardens in Victoria, British Columbia. Imagine, if you will, a garden like this surrounded by a natural Maine forest right here in Brunswick. We envision a garden park that would be able to accommodate up to 4 million visitors a year. The park and garden itself would generate at least 250 full-time and 400 part-time jobs. In addition, 4 million tourists would bring a substantial increase in revenues to local restaurants, gas stations, motels, and other businesses. Let's look at some data. Acadia, with 2.2 million visitors, generates $136 million in economic activity and well over 2,000 jobs. British Columbia's Butchart Gardens generate over $33 million in entry fees alone. This figure doesn't include revenues generated by Butchart's restaurants, gift shops, and parking lots, nor does it include the salaries paid to its hundreds of employees. Also not included are the hundreds of millions of dollars of extra tourist revenue brought into the surrounding communities by tourists visiting the gardens. In our planning for the park and gardens, there were several key factors that we felt were essential. One, the facility would be owned, operated, and controlled by a local not-for-profit entity created specifically for this purpose. Two, the jobs created would be well paid and could not be shipped overseas. They would stay in this community. Three, income generated would go to developing and maintaining the garden park. Any surplus would be used by local communities for public benefits like school scholarships and tax reduction. The main source of income for the Brunswick Park and Garden would be entry fees, similar to other gardens in North America. In our calculations, we're assuming $12 per adult with free admission for local residents. Parking for private cars could generate an additional $1 million annually. On-site gift shops could sell seeds, plants, books, and clothing. Income could also be generated from restaurants, refreshment stands, guided tours, weddings, seminars, and so forth. And all of these facilities and activities would be reserved for local businesses. Many museums get the largest part of their income from their gift shops and restaurants, and the same is likely to apply here. One of the primary objectives of the garden park would be to provide excellent living wage jobs. Salaries for experienced gardeners would be $40,000, and for 5-month part-time help would be $15,000. Salaries this high would be a huge boost to the local economy. If each park visitor spent $62 on local businesses and services, as tourists currently spend in the Acadia area, the total additional receipts for Greater Brunswick businesses would be $62 million for every million visitors. In short, if it could attract 4 million visitors annually, which we think is possible, the Brunswick Park and Gardens would be adding more than $250 million to our local economy each year. We estimate the garden will require 2 years of preparation before opening to the public. This preparation will cost $15 million, including the cost of the land. Over the first 10 years of operation, the project will cost an additional $15 million to become completely established, but it will be operating at a profit in just 3 to 5 years. Here's the bottom line. The garden park will be run as a business. At full capacity, it will generate an income of $65 million in park revenues plus $250 million in new tourist dollars brought into the Brunswick area. This is a total of $315 million. The annual costs of the garden, including salaries, overhead, loan repayments, and all other expenses, will be about $25 million. Subtracting the $25 million of expenses from the $315 million of new money brought into the area, the garden will produce an annual economic benefit to the Brunswick community of $290 million. In addition, the park will create 250 full-time jobs and 400 seasonal jobs at good salaries at the park itself, plus many hundreds of new jobs within the larger community brought by the increase in tourism. A tourist attraction of this type would make Greater Brunswick a world-class destination and would be a recreational resource and a blessing for our community. It would serve as an economic engine for our area, giving an enormous boost to our tourism industry and our local businesses. And revenue sharing with Brunswick area towns would be a source of substantial funds for our schools and social institutions. We ask your help in this endeavor.